Keith, as I mentioned beforehand, your column on Philippe Clement's style and his 1 year in charge at Rangers, it's still online. It's definitely worth a read if you're a Rangers fan. All of these comments, Keith, are in direct response on Record Sports social media channels. Let me throw a few your way. Drew McMaster, Clement must go. No wins against Celtic. Crashed out Champions League qualifiers. For so long, too arrogant to recall Hadji for needed creativity. Worse win rate than Beale. John Barber isn't holding back either. He says, another crap performance at home again. This is the worst Rangers team ever. Even Beale had a better record. Get a grip and get shot of all these diddies. Alan Milligan, Rangers proved yet again they're in badly need of a couple of decent strikers. Dessers and Igamani are not up to the task. And this again falls on Clement. Brian Thompson simply says Clement is simply not the man for Rangers. Pretty damning, Keith.
Yeah, they're running out of patience. And you know, that's why I wrote the thing. It's a year now. You've got a year to judge him on. And at first he came in and he kind of went back to basics in a way, sorted out Michael Beale's team by just doing the fundamentals right. But there wasn't any. I mean, you could actually make an argument that Michael Beale had more of a defined style of play than Clement has. Granted, it wasn't a very good one, but you could at least see what it was he was trying to do.
Aye, it might not have always worked, but you could see.
You see what it was, yeah. You see what he wanted it to look like. I scratch my head thinking you've now had a year with the majority of these players on the training ground. There should be something that the Rangers fans can identify with at this stage. And there's not. They're just kind of they sort of look like they're winging it from game to game. Now that'd be fine if they get a bit of momentum and if the individuals step up, as Andy was saying there. You know, Czerny did that last night. But you're looking for a bit more than just, you know, one guy popping up with a couple of goals every now and then. You're looking for them to sparkle. You're looking for the talent and the creative last third of the pitch to grab games by the scruff of the neck, and really, you know, get at defences and get on the front foot and just do more. Bayrami looks like he's a talented guy. Again, floated in and out of that game last night. Hadji comes on, good pass. Czerny scored a couple. Dessers just had another big Dessers night, didn't he? And they're all too frequent. That's becoming the norm, unfortunately, for Cyril Dessers. I like him, and I think comes across a lovely big guy, and he obviously works very hard. There's no questioning his commitment or his effort. It's just unfortunately his ability that's the problem. And I think that's another thing I was talking about in my column, that if you're going to have this style of play, and I think what he's trying to get is the ball's played sharper, faster, up to the front three from midfield. And I've seen flashes, you see it in bits, where Conor Barron and Mohamed Diamondi, they're getting it. You can just see that it's just a little bit quicker than it was previously last season when they ended the season. It was pretty laborious stuff. I've seen signs that these two are looking to do that, to break through teams earlier, to get balls rattled up into the feet of the front players. When it gets up there, you need somebody to do something with it. Now, I was cutting Clement a little bit slack, thinking he's got new guys that are coming into this system up at the top. Individually, if they improve what was there previously, then the team might look a bit better. Czerny's couple of goals last night, maybe that is the answer. Maybe that is what Rangers will end up looking like. But the main problem they've got is that a lot of the time the focal point is going to be the centre forward, and if the centre forward can't get the ball under control, hold it up, link with teammates, then the system falls down. And unfortunately for Cyril Dessers, too often the ball bounces off him like it's a brick wall, and that is a problem. But again, that one comes back in Clement as well, because he's been working with the guy all this time. He has to see that.
Yeah.
He's had opportunities to in the transfer window to do something about it, and he's failed on that front too, because Igamani is the only fit option right now. And as I said, my piece is as raw as a pound of Moroccan mince. So
here's one for you, Keith. Well, Robert watching live on YouTube simply says, how much more Rangers are we going to have to listen to? Robert, we are going to move on in just a second. Before we do, you pose what I thought was a very interesting question in your column, Keith. It says, this is obviously, you know what it says, you wrote it. Does he really believe his side, him being Clement, his side are serious contenders for this season's title, or would he be satisfied to see this burgeoning threat from the northeast and settle for a solid second place finish instead? If you're Philippe Clement right now, would you take second right
I
now?
don't know. You're asking me to get inside his head. I don't know where his head's at. I don't know where his team's at, and I don't know where his head's at. There is an argument that some people might accept that, you know what, transitional season, solidify, bolt down second place, and then try and build again over the transfer windows, and then the coming season after that. That attitude seldom fits in this part of the world. So if he is thinking that, it's not a good career move for him, because it just won't work. It just won't be given that amount of patience and that amount of leeway. He's got Aberdeen to catch and to start trying to crawl back in, or claw back in. And that's why you're wondering, you know, is he thinking, well, if Aberdeen get beat by Celtic, well, you know, we can close the gap on them by 3 points that weekend if Rangers win at Kilmarnock. That's not the way he should be thinking. A Rangers manager should be looking at that and hoping Aberdeen can go and do some damage.
Yeah.
But does he really believe that this squad is capable of contending for a title? Or is he looking over his shoulder at Aberdeen thinking, oh, it's not even over his shoulder, they're miles out in front of him just now. So is he looking at that thinking, right, first target is get them out the road? Who knows? I don't know.